we focus on our wrists, but also our hands. And you'll then also start to notice we're coming up the arms and working this area, which the wrists are quite delicate. So this is important to do all the time, but especially if we're doing a yoga practice. Yoga practice. So let's just start with our hand washing and rubbing your hands together and pretending you are a surgeon and you're really kind of just getting into one hand scrubbing, but also scrub the top of the hand and coming even up the arm. So the surgeon has to get the medical soap, coming up the arm. And then actually even do each finger and thumb, getting in between and around the outsides up to the tips of the fingers. Just bringing this little self massage. And then go to the other hand, the top of the hand. Ooh, and I can feel this, like your arms have to work hard. So we're using arm muscles as we do this. And then remember to get all the fingers, kind of get a little scrub in between, all the way to the ends of the fingers. Good. And then one just final scrubbing all in, and then rinse and shake. Shake off the water, air dry, a little bit of shaking, a little bit of mobility. And then we're just going to let our hands just rest for a moment. Our arms can rest. Close your eyes to go inside. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. And just feel that delicious tingling in the hands. Tingling, buzzing, humming, pulsing, just the way we can bring blood flow, circulation, energy flow. Okay, and then just taking some deeper breaths in and out, full yogic breaths. And we'll just start an arm flow with these full yogic breaths. So on your next inhale, arms out to the side and up, hands together, exhale, hands stay together as they come down across the front body, past the chest, and release and open up out to the sides again. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Spread the fingers so you're feeling aliveness. Every time the arms come out and up, spreading the fingers wide. 2 more. Feel how the touch of the hands come together. And then leaving hands in front of the heart. Just offer a little bow to your heart space and then open your eyes. Keep the hands together. Just draw the hands slightly away from the chest. Lift your elbows up and press the pads of the fingertips just lightly, a little bit more pressure in. And then also feel the palms, the thumbs. Then feel the base of the fingers, the heels of the palms, and just finding even suction cup feel between the palms. Okay, roll the shoulders back and down. and breathe. Good, then take the fingers and point them forward away from the body. And then feel a little stress through the wrists here. Make sure it's not too much. So if you want less, take the fingers away from the chest, or sorry, the wrists. And if you're not feeling any sensation at the wrists, you can draw the wrists in towards the chest, but don't cause pain. You want just an interesting feeling to hold and breathe. Good, and then take the fingertips up and then draw them in towards the chest now. Good, shoulders relax. Make sure you haven't hunched up the tops of the shoulders. And let the fingers touch the chest. But again, if you want to create more sensation, you draw the fingers away from the chest a little bit. Good, and take another deep breath here, in and out. Good, and then point the fingers back up. And then just open the hands like a book for a moment. And then if they just need a little bit of movement, before we're going to bring them back together now, clasp the hands. And we're going to do the globe spinning here. So just allowing wrist mobility here, just to create some movement. Imagine it's a globe spinning around and around and around. Good, and then without thinking about it too much, go the other way, which is a little bit trickier to do. You get the hang of it though, you might get that movement. It might feel a little awkward, that's okay. Okay, and then release. And we're going to make tight fists now, like a ball in the hands. And then we're going to open up the hands, starburst, and stretch the fingers. And then go ahead and squeeze and stretch wide open and squeeze and make those starbursts. Just carefully going back and forth, just feeling. Okay, this is really good to strengthen muscles as we do the stretching as well. And we're going to go a little faster. And this one then actually makes us a little tired doing it. You want to keep doing it until you're just feeling like it's enough. You need to stop. Don't force. Ooh, I can feel it going up the arms. Good. Just keep going a little longer if you like. 5 more. And 1. Okay, relax. Just let your arms come down, relax and breathe. And feel. Whew. Just again, bring your attention back to the hands again. Just noticing what you're noticing. Okay, good. And then we're going to just release momentarily, just to give our legs a little bit of a break. So you can release the legs and do some ankle spirals. And just turning and spiraling your feet around and around. And you can lean back on the hands here. You don't have to if that doesn't feel good for your hands. So you can sit up and do this without leaning back. But the actual leaning back is putting a little bit of stress into your hands and wrists, which can be healthy if we do it at an appropriate amount. And if we do it too much stress can cause damage and degeneration in our tissues. But if we don't do anything, then our tissues atrophy. Okay, so as we spiral the feet the other way, and again, just not ignoring our feet, of course, even though we're focusing on our wrists and hands mostly for this mini session. And then you could do the seaweed feet, which is point and flex. And just like your feet are a piece of seaweed, point and flex and point and flex. Okay, excellent. Let your legs relax. If you're sitting cross-legged, feel free to come back to a cross-legged position and cross maybe the opposite way you started, just to balance out. the hips. Okay, you're welcome to sit up on a cushion. Okay, then we'll come back to just sitting comfortably. I'm going to do the reverse sun flow. So this time, your hands start in joined together in front of the heart, and then you inhale up. And I call this one a fountain. And then you exhale your arms out to the side and down, and bringing them right back in front of the chest, hands together. So inhale up and exhale out and down, and just continuing. You can close your eyes if you like. Bringing in some full yogic breath to guide the flow. Spreading the fingers each time your water fountain flows over and down. Do 2 more. Bringing hands back together in front of the heart. Okay, bow your head, slowly open your eyes again. Okay, this time we're going to clasp the hands and we're going to make waves this time. So just do really slow motion waves just in front of your body, allowing your elbows, shoulders to be involved. And just like noticing that feeling, how the wrist has this mobility and the fingers have mobility, lots of little bones in our fingers and hands and wrists. There's lots of connective tissue and the attachment points to the muscles in the arms. And then we're going to go bigger waves. So go right up over the head and down in the lap. And inhale up and exhale down. So move with breath, keeping it slow. Okay, and then keep going big, but reverse the waves. And this can be good for the shoulders, just getting some mobility in the shoulder joints. And then just slow the waves down a little bit, coming back in front of the body, back in front of the heart space. Okay, and then once again, we'll shake the water off. You can always take a break if you need. Okay, this time adding a little bit of spinal movement with it. We're going to clasp the hands, flip the palms to face away to start, stretch the arms forward, lift the chest and head slightly, inhale. And then as you flip the hands back, you're going to round your back, drop your chin to chest, exhale. Okay, flip the palms away, lift the head and chest, inhale. Flip the hands back, round the spine, drop the chin slightly. Exhale and continue. Just find your own rhythm with some full yogic breaths. Do 2 more. Okay, last exhale and release. And just let your arms maybe dangle at your sides or on your lap. And again, you can close your eyes just for the integration times, the little pauses, and just feel, I feel that right in the upper arm and shoulder. You can just notice where those movements targeted your body. Okay, and then opening your eyes again. We're going to do the doorknobs next. So just straighten your arms forward as if your hands are holding doorknobs. And you're going to turn the right hand out and the left hand outwards. So you end up having your palms facing up. Okay, this is called external rotation of the arms. And then you turn the doorknobs back inwards. This is called internal rotation of the arms. So again, just imagining you're just turning these two doorknobs slowly back and forth. Just feeling not just the mobility in the hand and wrist, but all the way up to the shoulders. And back and forth. And then again, just like we did previously, just in the hands, you can just speed it up and just kind of like it's almost like you're waving back and forth. Ooh. And again, you're going to get a bit tired when you do this faster. Ooh, make sure your shoulders haven't hunched up. Spine is upright. You can always take a break. Okay, and one more breath. And exhale, relax again. Ooh, relax, release, feel, notice. It's important that we have rest in between to integrate the efforts. Okay, great. So next thing we're going to do is the phalange spirals. So technically, in anatomy, our fingers and thumbs are phalanges. And so first, you could do one hand at a time, but for time's sake, we're going to try and do both. So just try to take your thumbs first and spiral them around. It gets a little harder when we get to the fingers. You could spiral in the other direction. What's nice also about if you were doing it one at a time is, you might have one hand that might give you a little bit more sensations, and it might tell you, you could always stop that hand. Okay, but then we're going to do the index fingers and just try to make the spirals. Feels really weird, like we're not used to doing this. And it's just spiral and spiral and go the other way. Ooh, and just again, notice which hand might be harder to do, might feel a little weird, and then go to the middle fingers. Okay, I think my whole hand is getting tired. And then turn the middle fingers the other direction. My toes are wiggling too. My toes want to play. And then the ring fingers around. Oh, circling. It's a patient process. Just notice what you're noticing and then go in the other direction. I mean, these things aren't necessarily things we necessarily do day to day. And then now our pinky fingers. Now my pinky fingers are too tired. They felt like they were helping all the other ones. And then go in the other direction. Okay, and once again, just let your arms relax. Either at your sides or on your lap. Close your eyes, go inside. Take a deep breath, sigh it out. Good, and just notice in your hands. See if you can feel the tingling, buzzing, humming, pulsing, warmth. Okay, and open your eyes again slowly. All right, we're going to release our legs once again, just to give our feet a little break. And this time, bending the legs, you could do some windshield wipers. And again, just even doing the leaning back on your hand is giving your connective tissue a little bit of healthy stress, as long as there's no pain. And of course, some people do feel pain coming up the wrist. Maybe it's carpal tunnel syndrome. Maybe it's repetitive stress in the wrist. So be mindful. But we're going to come on to all fours now, which is what we often do in yoga. And we do different things in all fours. But this is a great way to also just pay attention to the wrists and do some weight bearing, which is healthy for the bones, the joints, the connective tissue. So in table, knees are above, your hips are above your knees, and your shoulders are above your wrists. So if you were to just take your hands just off the mat for a moment, spread your fingers, and just come back comfortably to where you feel is best for your hands. So some people, because of the bone shape, prefer their hands slightly turned out. Some people like them more middle fingers pointing forward. Some people maybe like them slightly turned in. You have to figure that out for your own bone structure, what feels right, what feels stable. So here, if you spread your fingers, but then lightly start to press the fingertips, the pads of the fingertips and thumbs into the ground, press the base of the fingers into the ground and the thumbs, and finding the palms like suction cups. So it's almost like you're not flattening your palms down. You're almost kind of, as you pull the fingers in a little bit, the fingertips in, you're making suction cups. Okay, and just this act here of putting some weight on the fingers is targeting the connective tissue in the joints. And there's a lot of connective tissue because there's so many joints in our hands. So if any pain is coming anywhere in your wrists or up your arm or your hands, this might not be appropriate to hold. So please do come out and take a break. Okay, one more breath if you're still there. And then exhale and release. So releasing your hands, some of you might be able to sit back in what's called the diamond pose. As long as it doesn't bother your knees, just to give your hands just this mini break. Okay, but we're going to come once again into table position with the suction cups. And here we're just going to add a little spinal movement. So tilting the tailbone up, the head up as you inhale. And tuck the tail, drop the head as you exhale, rounding the back. And go back and forth. Inhale, we call this doggy tilt. Exhale, cat stretch. And breathing in, breathing out. Just a few more cycles. And one more time. Okay, and then go ahead and release again. And we're going to come to diamond. And I know not everybody loves diamond pose. Some tricks you could do if this bothers your knees is actually to put a cushion on the back of your calves. And that way you're not bending the knees as much. You could always just come up in high diamond, or you can sit on the floor. But we're going to do our diving snakes and high five snakes with our hands again. So this is the last one we're going to do for our hands, and then we'll just have a little break, a little rest. Okay, so the diving snake, and let's actually just do one hand at a time. So you curl the fingers as tight in as you can. So they're just touching the top of the palms. And then you slide down and then scoop up. So it's like the snake is diving. And like, you're really getting all the joints in the fingers and the wrists moving here. So just creating this diving snake. It's nice to do this maybe about a dozen times or so in this direction, the diving snake. Okay, so let's do 3 more. Okay. Ooh, it's have a little rest and feel. And then the same hand will now do the high five snake. So the high five now folds the fingers as much as it can. Then the fingertips come to the low part of the palm. And then you slide up the palm this time and high five. So back down to the bottom of the palm, slide the fingers up and high five. Oh my gosh. And I honestly, I think this is like a little bit of brain gym to do this. Like you have to really think about it. Ooh, and I don't know about you, but my hand, my wrist, my arm are getting a bit tired. And we want to bring, some of that healthy discomfort in. And we know we're doing the effort. We just don't want to overdo it. Let's do 3 more or take a break. Okay, last one. High five and release, relax. Okay, while that arm's relaxing, we can do the diving snake. So then curl the fingers really tight and then slide the fingers down the palm and then up. So it's like the snake is diving. And here you really get the wrist involved too. Diving down. And I think it's better if you just slow it down. If we end up going too fast, we kind of miss the little nuance of all the intricacies and the joints within our hands. Whew, something I think maybe we take for granted until we've hurt ourselves. Even not one finger being sore can affect so much in our life. Okay, 3 more dives. 1, 2, and 3. Whew. And then the high fives. Fold fingers as flat as you can down. Slide fingers up. High five. Fold all the way down to the bottom of the palm and then high five. Slide up, high five. Okay, and you can probably feel this working the muscles in your arm as well. Okay, we're going to do 3 more, or you can break anytime. 2 and 3. Oh my goodness me. So just feeling your efforts. Okay, we're just going to give ourselves a little mini Shavasana as integration. And in Shavasana, the whole body relaxes. But of course, here we want to focus mostly on our beautiful hands and our arms. And traditionally, corpse pose is done with the palms up. And because our bone structures are all different, for some people, it is more comfortable to have the arms away from the body to allow the palms to very comfortably face up. So you just decide how far away from the body that allows your arms to fully release and let go, and to feel your hands fully relaxed. And when your hands are completely relaxed, your fingers naturally curl, kind of the way babies' hands do. And just bring your awareness to any sensation you're noticing from the practice. Maybe the palms are pulsating. Tingling, buzzing, humming, pulsing. And just noticing anything in your arms. Just feel the shoulders let go. And feel the whole body relax. And taking this time to appreciate the efforts you made today, the attention you brought to your fingers, thumbs, your hands, your wrists, your arms, shoulders. And please feel free to stay a little bit longer if you like.